Welcome to another edition of the Sportsport. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sportsport. I am your interim host and producer for the day. No, I'm not the producer for the day. Okay, we got Zach over there on the table. What's up, dude?
What's going on? Good to be here.
Not much, dude. I think you can jack my headphones up a little bit. I can't really hear myself. Oh, there it is. Yeah, baby. What is up? We have a great episode for you guys here today. So much to get to, so much to talk about. Obviously, unfortunately, we do have two New York baseball losses from last night. But we do have a Rangers game, a huge Rangers game tonight, which really at this point, Rangers, back up against the wall right now. Gonna have to, really shoot their way out of this one. No pun intended. We have some PGA. We're going to do the Valero Texas Open, as well as some crib notes for some NFL rule changes and whatnot. So a lot to get to on this nice, beautiful hump day. But first, of course, we have some comments. So, Zach, if you could, and I can rattle these ones off. We have a ton from Michael Buchter, early and often morning fam. RIP to Val Kilmer. No better man to play Iceman. Absolutely, Val Kilmer. Was very sad to hear of his passing late last night. Obviously, a tremendous actor. Not only known for Top Gun, but he was in MacGruber. He was in obviously played Jim Morrison. Heat. We were just talking about Heat yesterday on Binge Buddies. And of course, Mike and I, who recently watched his documentary to get inside look at his life, and he had like throat cancer, if memory serves me. He couldn't really speak very well, so it is just sad to see him go for sure. So Michael also says here, Barnes, I saw you at the Utah hockey game last night. Yes, he did. Yes, he was. How did that go? I'm sure Brian will fill us in. He also says, imagine you and Austin Wells chilling in the Caribbean for 8 days on the beach. What would happen? I don't know if Michael is trying to imply here, but I am heterosexual, Michael. Okay. No, obviously Austin Wells. We've been talking about the stash. Everyone at the home opener for the Yankees. Is that Austin Wells? Oh my God, Austin Wells is in the bathroom at Billy's. So it is funny. Yes. Let's see. Trying to pay way more attention. He says, when you were winning that night in Gaming Corner, no one recognized it. But if Barnes was winning, Josh B would be talking a bunch of shit in the comments. I'm glad, Michael, you actually brought it to our attention here, because that's absolutely 100% correct. Everyone always loves Brian. He's the golden child, Yankee boy, and Tony is just a little peon over here, dude. And he says, I'm strongly considering not watching the Final Four because having all 4 one seeds is just straight up boring. And of course, last but not least, Mr. Eagle, Ian Eagle, be on the call. He's not the guy to replace Nance. We know how Michael feels about that. But Michael, you still got to watch, okay? You're a fan of college ball. I don't care if it's the 1 seed or the 16 seed. It's the Final Four. I mean, they're still playing for the tournament here. There's a high level of basketball. You never know with Florida. Obviously, Duke seems to be a favorite right now, but still, you never know. There could be a big upset. And he says, I'm sorry, but it doesn't feel right without Nance on the call. I brought viewers to the TV for the Final Four. When I listened to him call, I was so relaxed. Obviously, nobody beats Nance, but you got to get over it, Michael. And then there he goes, Ian Eagle ruining it. I'm sorry, but no one likes him. I wouldn't say nobody. He's all right. We have Anthony Perreault says, let's go Rangers. Right you are, Anthony. Huge game tonight, dude. Josh B says, what is up, fam? What's up, Josh B? Happy you're in here. And we have Mikey Do First. Or is that, Mikey Do First. Good morning. Michael, Tony, and Bards, good morning. This is, why can't the Mets beat damn trash-ass Marlins in Miami? Always gives us trouble. Always does. And I think Sandy Alcantara also gives us trouble historically. So it is tough. There is a weird, you can't really put the thumb on the pulse of that one. Maybe it's because they just decided not to fucking hit or not dig out, what could have been a single or have poor plays in the infield rather. But we'll break that down soon. My mother in the house says, good morning, Mom. And then Michael Buckta, we can skip that. The Iron Eagle. Michael Theophil just says Batman. I think he thinks he's Batman. I don't know why he's saying Batman. Oh, Val Kilmer played Batman. That's what he's saying. Yes, of course. Arguably one of the better Batmans as well. People I think forget about that a little bit because obviously George Clooney's George Clooney. Michael Keaton was so freaking good, and of course Christian Bale, Dark Knight, whatever. Val Kilmer was great, dude. I'm trying to remember the I think that was the Nicole Kidman one. Nicole Kidman or Kim Basinger? I think it was Nicole Kidman, dude. Tremendous work. And Michael Buckton says, we want Tony. Barnes can stay on the road. That's freaking right, dude. Sorry, dropped my pen. And then Mikey in here says, at Anthony Matariello, who is me, Mikey, if you don't know. I am Anthony Matariello. Says, let's go Rangers, buddy. Not looking good with Montreal winning last night. I know. And who did they beat? They beat somebody. They beat Florida, I think, in overtime last night, which is like, are you kidding me, Florida? Are you kidding? Like, just throw us a bone, dude. And I think even Columbus beat Ottawa or vice versa. So kind of tough, dude. Michael Buckta, Florida should have lost rounds ago, dude. Well, Michael, if they should have, then they would have. Also, Josh says, that is not true. Yeah, okay. And then Michael Buckton says, Tony is Tom Selleck and Austin Wells combined. You need to be promoted at DTV. Well, I really can't argue that. And then Michael Buckton says, Josh B., as much as I love you, buddy, Florida is a fluke. And then says Tony needs to be producing. Whoa. Throwing some schlack at Zach, dude. You got to be careful, all right? Michael Buckton doesn't care who's in the crosshairs, all right? He's firing, baby. So lovely to hear, our fan section here so riled and jacked up for the show today. But let's get into it. As I said, we have a lot to get to. So let's toss it now to the world of Major League Baseball.
It's deep to left. It's 700. Albert Pujols.
Yeah, what a play! Stop it. Yep. And Alonso cracks one of the Mets win the ball game. Out of sight.
And it works at 100 miles an hour. 14 strikeout.
Drove deep to left field. There it goes. See ya.
All right. And a couple comments flowing in right now. Michael Buckta says, can't have a guy at the head when he goes away too much. Sorry, Barnes. Love you, dude. And then Michael Theophilus says, Tony isn't them. They are him, meaning me. Let's fucking go. Michael Buckta with the MJ, which is obviously Mikey do first. I know Michael close. Don't play with the man about his sports, dude. Mikey, obviously, again, I guess now you got Buckta's friend here, MJ, also coming at you, Zach. Don't mess with Buckta, even though he's starting it. I don't even know.
I didn't say anything.
And then Michael Theophil, the Sportsport isn't anything without Brian. That is a fact, obviously. It's not, Brian's a great host, incredible knowledge across all sports. Okay. And then let's see, Michael Buck says the Sportsport is good with Tony also, but see, again, this is the narrative, Buckta. Okay. Like Michael Theophil, Josh B, they don't give me it's Brian. So, and then when Tony's in trying to get the credit or doing something good or winning a gaming corner, they turn the other cheek, dude. But it's fine. I'm used to it. I'm here. Okay, dude. Michael says God isn't great. Is he calling me God and saying I'm not great? I don't know. And then my mother, there we go. My mother, obviously, number one fan here. The Sportsport is nothing without Anthony. Obviously, it's nothing without either of us, clearly. And then let's see. Here we go, Mikey. Let's go, MJ, dude. He says, effort to stir the pot here. Will the Mets or Yankees win more games this season? Obviously, we're Mets fans here. So I had the Mets winning 100 games this year.
Yeah.
And I had the Yankees, I think, winning like 95 or something. So that was my prediction. But obviously, MJ, let me know your prediction. Anyone in the comments, let me know your predictions as well. I'd love to hear it. Obviously, it's going to be super tough. Mets in a really tough division, off to a slow start. But obviously, we've seen last year with the type of year they ended up with. And then Yankees off to a hot start in an easier division. I mean, you could argue, maybe they can sneak out more wins than the Mets right now. But hey, I mean, you never know. At the end of the day, I would say, obviously, after the start of the season, you would maybe lean towards the Yankees right now. But obviously, MJ, the Mets fan that he is easily the Mets baby, which is great. I'd love to have more Mets fans on the show. We also have Jonathan or JD talking sports in the house. Says, thanks, Tony, for the solo show. You got it, dude. You know what it's about. You go. I see you on the lives and everything. Hosting, solo dolo, driving the show. I mean, it's a fun time. I have a great time doing it for sure. And then we're all caught up with the comments here, so I appreciate that. Let's get into some baseball here. I guess we will start off with the Mets. Why not, dude? We are, we typically talk for the Yankees, but hey, Brian's not here. So let's do some Mets talk here. Obviously, tough loss last night. Kadai Senga's, first start of the season. Mets dropped the game here to the Marlins 4-2 after putting a 10 spot up them and winning, 10-4 2 nights ago, right? I mean, so obviously disappointing when you score 10 one night, you score 2 the next one, and you have some mental errors as well. And I mean, that's what's super tough and kind of like what MJ was saying before. I mean, the Marlins, although they had the hot start, did they have a 4-game set against the Cubs to start the year?
I believe so, yeah.
And I think they split that or they won 3. They were off to a good start, obviously. And then, of course, their ace pitching against us, Sandy Alcantara, who, obviously had some question marks last season, out most, if not all of the year, right? Tommy John,
Yep.
Year before that, a little underwhelming. Year before that, won the Cy Young. Mm-hmm. So obviously, the capabilities there. So I don't know, man. I mean, you kind of were anticipating maybe a little bit of like Mets bats kind of getting to him early on. Obviously, hasn't pitched a ton in the past couple seasons of great ball, and I think his spring training wasn't really that great either. But he pitched really well. 5 innings, 3 hits, only 2 earned runs, the 4 Ks. Obviously, 70 pitches early in the season. Off the Tommy John surgery, like they're keeping his pitch count a minimum here. And honestly, I mean, that's good for Sandy, I guess, right now. But obviously, in terms of the Mets hitting, I mean, you got to do a better job than that, dude. I mean, I understand it's Sandy, but it's Alcantara for 5 innings. You could try to get to their bullpen. You only had 5 hits on the day. And you had Henriquez, Bachar, Veneciano, and Bender. You had 4 relievers come in. Miami doesn't have a great bullpen. It's not like it's not like a Yankees bullpen and a Dodgers bullpen. It's not a great bullpen by any means. So I mean, I don't know, dude, and I don't know if you watched the entire game, but to me, watching some of the at bats that I saw, it just seemed like that some of the Mets batters just were not recognizing good pitches to swing at.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't know if they're expecting a break. Well, obviously they maybe are expecting a break, but it's like this ball is like middle, and they're looking at it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's a similar situation, I guess, to how they started off last year, to be honest, was just like their pitch recognition at the plate was just non-existent.
Yeah. I feel like the night before too, I was like kind of going the other way because I was like, oh, we're finding it. Everyone's hitting.
Yeah.
This is the game we needed. And then we came out last night and we did the same thing. So I don't know, but yeah, you're right. I just don't think they're seeing it. Obviously there's guys who are. Lindor is kind of coming around.
Yeah.
But still, it's not enough with this lineup. So
no, it's certainly not. And I mean, it's just tough. We've talked about the players that need to come out firing on all cylinders. Lindor being one of them. Alonso, Soto, who's been a bright spot for the most part last night. 0 for 3 with a walk. Not great. Obviously, you know about Lindor's first hit, RBI single. That was, I believe it was an RBI single, I think, right? Yeah,
Yep.
RBI single. which was huge. That was to tie the game as well.
Yeah.
And I love that, Acuna on the bases too. I mean, he's got such tremendous speed.
Yeah.
So I think that's a huge asset. I mean, that's twice now because I think 2 nights ago he went from first to home.
Yes.
So that's twice now. Utilizing his speed around the bases is getting runs in for the Mets. So I mean, you got to keep him in the lineup. I think I kind of love what he's doing. Obviously, for Acuna, he had a hit last night. I mean, I think his bat could come around.
Yeah.
Especially I feel like if he gets the idea of just hitting for contact, getting the ball on the ground and digging it out. Because I'm sure, with his brother being Ronald, I'm sure, he feels like maybe he should be performing in terms of hitting home runs and MVP seasons and whatnot. But we don't need you to do that right now. And he also could, I think, fix his defense up a little bit. I mean, he didn't have any problems last night. But the home opener, I think, right? He had like two blown plays.
Yep.
A horrible play from second, a horrible throw, I should say, and then a bobble as well, which, I mean, not for nothing, 2 nights ago, seeing him play short, he definitely looks way more comfortable at shortstop.
Well, yeah, that's where
that's his natural position.
That's his natural position.
Yeah.
So he was backing up Lindor last year there. So
yeah. And it's tough because obviously, I don't know, the whole Lindor thing is interesting that he didn't start 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
And I understand he was 0 for 11 to start the year, right? Something like that. 0 for 9, 0 for 11.
Yeah, 0 for 11 with the torpedo bats. So
yes,
just so you know, torpedo bats.
Mm-hmm.
All you need to know.
And they showed him using it last night too.
Yeah.
But I thought it was interesting how Lindor was back, was in Miami on Monday.
Yeah. Well, I thought that he wasn't going to be there at all.
Yeah.
And then they cut to the dugout, and he was in the dugout, and he wasn't playing, and I was confused because I thought he wasn't even going to be there.
Yeah.
For the start of the series.
And apparently, so he had his third child on Sunday.
Yeah.
I was saying this yesterday, and he told Mendoza, "I'll be back on Monday for the game." And Mendoza was like, "No." Like he insisted on you stay with your wife. I'm going to start Acuna.
Yeah.
And Lindor still shut up, dug out, whatever. I want to be a leader, example, which is fine. But I mean, don't you think it's kind of odd that Mendoza didn't start him? Even though he was there?
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, he's on my fantasy team too, and I saw it
Same.
day to day.
Yeah.
I was like, is he hurt? I was Googling it all day. I was looking for anything.
Yeah.
Nothing. Nobody said anything either. So I was just under the assumption that maybe he tweaked something. He's not playing.
Mm-hmm. Same.
And
but then, go ahead.
No, and then he was there. So
Wild. Yeah, I saw that article on the Post about the baby and everything, and that Mendoza would still start Acuna, which is interesting because clearly Mendoza wanted to get a different look at shortstop, you know, and obviously get Acuna some reps there in terms of turning his bat around because he knew, I guess, Lindor wasn't doing well. Obviously, Lindor with his first hit of the year last night, that's great. The RBI, we said that. But still, you're expecting more from him. And the 2 plays in the infield that he bobbled last night, I wouldn't say, one of them, the first one, I'm trying to see, let me pull up the play-by-play here. I'm trying to see what inning it was in. But the first one was a tough play.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to see fielding. It must have been here. Yeah, bottom of the second. Yeah, that was the Myers hit to Lindor, and it was, he needed to charge it and he needed to throw it immediately. It was going to be a tough play to make in and of itself. But he charges this ball and just misses it.
Yeah.
Just going underneath his glove. A rare error by Lindor. And I mean, obviously at that point in the bottom of the second, I mean, didn't really do anything in terms of Senga because I think Myers ends up getting actually caught stealing, which is great. You'll have to see that. But again, I mean, it's just at that point, it's extending pitches for Senga, right? Obviously, great job for Torrens for throwing him out. But then it was the other one that was just a total, or maybe no. The first one was the one maybe that popped up, and then no. I remember.
I think the first one was just the ground ball that kind of chewed him up.
Yeah. And then the second one in the fourth was the one that hopped.
Yes.
Up on him.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It was a hard hit ball by Lopez. Lindor was there, squared up, but the ball just took a hop and went over his glove, which is tough because I believe he ends up scoring.
Yes.
Yeah, they gave up an RBI double, a 2 RBI double at that point. And that was a 2-out, 2 RBI double in that inning. So again, you would think Lindor makes that play, 4th inning, clean for Senga, still a 2-2 game instead of your final 4-2. Not that I'm sitting here singling out any one play because everyone in the lineup could have hit better.
Yeah.
You could have scored. You should have scored more than 4 runs in this game.
Well, I think that's like, going back to Houston too. It's like, yes, we had errors and
Right.
small issues on defense, but it's like you're not driving in runs. So what does it matter? You know what I mean? Especially with this lineup, like that top 3 really needs to get going. I honestly, Alonso, I'm cutting a little bit more slack because of what he did.
Grand Slam. Yeah, it was
but
huge.
the 3 of them got to get going and get on the same page as soon as possible because it's really impacting the rest of the lineup.
Yeah. It really is impacting the rest of the lineup. Nimmo had a good game though, I will say.
That's true.
Batting 5th, 2 for 4 with the dinger earlier on. The 2-run dinger, right?
No, it was
a solo shot. It was a solo shot. That's right. Which is great. I mean, that's part of, obviously his second home run of the year, I think, right?
Yes.
But Vientos 0 for 4 spot, he's got to figure it out, dude. And he had that single, the ground out, that definitely could have been a single if he just kept running it out.
Yeah.
I mean, what the hell is that, dude?
Yeah, it's just like small mistakes like that.
Yeah, and you really can't be doing this, because not for nothing, like your spot isn't necessarily guaranteed,
Yeah, definitely not.
Brett Beatty's been getting looks at second. He's been getting a couple of looks during spring training at third as well. So, I mean, a stupid mistake like that could have extended an inning, and I'm trying to see what inning that was in. But it was really super embarrassing, dude.
Yeah.
Like you can't be doing that. I want to say it was the second inning. Was it after Nimmo's home run then? I think it was.
Yeah,
dude.
It was early in the game.
It was early in the game. So again, like what the hell is that about, dude?
Yeah, I think for him too, it's like they want Beatty to start. Like they have been pushing for Beatty for like the last 2-3 years.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, even like going back to last year, Vientos really had to prove himself because they kept putting Beatty over him, even when Vientos had the walk off and everything. Like, so yeah, I mean, nothing's guaranteed.
No,
I think he's definitely safer this year than last year. But
27 home runs last year do that for you.
Yeah.
But it is. I mean, you're right. I mean, it took like a good amount of time of Beatty playing bad baseball for them to be like, all right, dude, we gotta send you back down.
Yeah.
And even still last year, like he got hurt, right? Like he had to get hurt for Vientos to come in and get more looks at third base. And obviously, timely hitting and better play defensively is what really solidified him last season in that role. But I don't know. I mean, obviously, you want to have that sense of competitiveness between players and stuff like that, or challenge each other, especially at a younger age here, to get better from within. But I don't know, man. Sometimes it does annoy me when these young players are moved around a lot, like from second to third, from second to short, from third to DH. I don't know. If I'm a young player, I feel like it will be really hard for me to get into a good rhythm.
Yeah, I think it's hard for the rest of the team too, because you're constantly moving stuff around, and I get that's part of baseball, and you have to make adjustments. But like a lot of the best teams don't really do that. They kind of are comfortable with what they have, and they're able to ride with that. But I mean, I guess because we have so much young talent that we can kind of cycle in, I guess that's kind of the situation we're in. But yeah,
it's tough because I feel to go back to like. Acuna, I mean, maybe his bat hasn't come around necessarily, but he's in a position where he's playing second base, not very comfortable, makes an error, and all of a sudden now he loses confidence, and it's just like something like that can really throw you off your whole game.
Yeah.
Especially a younger player. I mean, the mental game is tough for them for sure, dude. And same thing, honestly, like with Beatty. I mean, getting moved around a lot, it's gonna be hard for him to get into like this rhythm, this routine. Baseball is so much about timing. It's going to be hard to have that good timing. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like they really have to just pick a lineup and kind of just stick with it.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially because it's evident now that the Mets just have a tough time, getting off the ground at the start of the year.
Yeah.
Which is fine, I guess. Again, I mean, you use last year as an example. It was early April and it was rock bottom, So, obviously you try to remain as positive as possible. In terms of Senga's production, again, I think to kind of go back to opening day, you know, where you can kind of look at Clay Holmes' line and be like, oh, it's not really that good. But then you do realize that there is some poor defense behind him. There was poor situational defense that didn't really help him out. Because the production was good, dude. I mean, 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, right? Those other 2 runs were earned because of Lindor's error. And then 8 Ks, you know? So, I mean, the strikeout stuff was there. I mean, there was, you know, I think maybe there was a 3rd inning strikeout the side, and it was all the fork balls. All fork balls, dude. And the movement on it was great.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it was absolutely fooling batters because, I mean, these pitches were they were just not strikes. They were not in the strike zone.
Yeah.
You know, like, so it was really impressive to see the movement there. I think that fork ball, you know, obviously again, Miami lineup, whatever. I think it's going to be still tough for any lineup to deal with. And not for nothing, you know, again, obviously earlier on, which is why he's, you know, 77 pitch count. They want to keep him at bay, especially with, you know, the calf, the injuries, keep him healthy. But I mean, you know, on a game like this, he could easily have gone 6. And then if you take into account, you know, some of the, you know, not the errors that would extend these innings and again, lower his pitch count. I mean, I think he looks great, dude.
Yeah, me too. And like, especially for the fork balls, like he wasn't really working on that a lot in the spring. And now it's firing. So, I mean, I love to see it. And honestly, like just overall with our pitching, like I thought that was going to be my biggest concern, but it really is like, as of now, one of the smaller concerns.
Yeah, pretty ironic, honestly.
Yeah, because we're not hitting the ball like enough. You know what I mean? So
yeah. No, yeah, it is great to see the you know the pitching help out, especially. I don't know if you heard too. Manaea has been pushed back another 2 weeks because of a setback. I don't think Mendoza very specific about it. But in any case, I mean, I guess you got to just deal with it, you know?
Yeah.
It is unfortunate, but right now your pitchers are doing well. Max Craddock, who came in for the relief, for 3 innings of relief, so long relief here, was great. 3 innings, no hits, no runs, only 1 strikeout, but through 22 pitches was efficient. And I like Craddock's story. I think he's 25 years old, 27 years old, maybe. And he's grew up in Pittsburgh, I believe, a Mets fan. Used to go to Mets games with his dad. So it is nice to see, you know, a pitcher like himself, a player.
Yes.
Fan of the Mets.
Former fan. Playing
for the Mets here. And again, coming in and pitching like some good long relief, which is great because, I mean, I feel like our bullpen, which has been great all season so far, between Stanek and what's his name? Garrett and Young and Diaz, obviously. Yeah, Brazoban pitched really well. So the bullpen's been pretty solid. Obviously, we'll see how they can hold up down the stretch of the season. But even though this is a tough loss right now, it's on to the next game. You know, you got to just you know keep things somewhat positive. The bats will come around, and then we can move on. The Mets do play today, dude. On this nice hump day, I believe it is a Clay Holmes spot. I believe, right?
Yes, it is.
I'm not sure though who's pitching. I got to check the MLB app here because ESPN sometimes the previews. Looks like we have Connor Gillespie, 27-year-old righty, starting for Miami here. So far, I guess last year he had I guess not a ton of starts here. Looks like he had 3 games. Let me look at the stats here. Yeah, 3 games. Oh, yeah, I guess he was out of the bullpen last year. No starts, 2.25 ERA, and 3 appearances. 8 innings pitched, 2 earned runs. So far this season, I guess he does have a start. Looks like he started against. Where the hell are the game logs, dude? Sometimes, like, even the MLB app is really annoying.
Hard to navigate.
Yeah, it's just like why are splits the first thing that comes up? You know, like just show me the game log. Here's the game log. Where it was against Pittsburgh. I guess on the 28th. So they had 5 ERA in that start. 5 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, gave up 1 dinger, 4 walks. So again, for a team like Pittsburgh to navigate him, I mean, you would think the Mets would have a better shot.
Yeah.
You know, at navigating that. So, I mean, you got to appreciate that there. And Clay Holmes, again, I mean, I think Clay Holmes' stuff was good. Last start, you know, opening day here. And it was just some, you know, poor defense behind him that kind of bit him in the ass. But I mean, I don't know. It was kind of weird too, because I feel like that pitch he developed in the offseason in the spring was his new changeup. And he barely threw that
Yeah, I don't know.
Against the Astros. And I know I forget, somebody was saying Josh B, or maybe I just heard it in the post game, where just the matchup for that pitch wasn't good in the Houston lineup. Which was kind of weird to me. But then don't start Clay Holmes would probably be my solution there.
Yeah.
But I would be interested to see if he goes to that pitch today. Because again, that was something that was dominant in spring training, and that was notable. Like, oh, I'm working on this in the off season. Yeah. This is what I'm trying to do here. So I would think that his start today would be leaps and bounds better than opening day.
Yeah, I would assume he's gonna use everything, because it's a younger lineup too.
Yeah.
So it's not the same as Houston. Obviously, I would understand why you're holding things back against them, that you're not comfortable with pitching yet.
Oh yeah.
But I honestly, with him, like, that start was exactly what I expected. Like, I think he's still learning how to be a starter again. And it's gonna take a while for him to adjust. But honestly, I've been pleasantly surprised with everything he's done so far. I know spring training, it's not the same as the regular season, but still, I feel like he's been doing a great job so far, and the best that I thought he would do to this point. So we'll see what happens tonight, but I'm confident in him.
Yeah, me too, dude. And first time in like 7 seasons he's a starting pitcher. So I mean,
cut up some slack.
Exactly. Give him a little bit of a leash. I know a lot of people in the Northeast, specifically Yankee fans, don't give him any leash because of what they, what they had to suffer with him. But again, like Brian said, the stuff is there, dude. And I mean, look at the matchup here. Mets heavily favored, -200 on the money line. Over under is 8.5. So I mean, I guess Vegas expecting some hitting here, because obviously yesterday it would have gone under.
Yeah.
Obviously, game one would have went way over. But if I had to make a prediction here, I would say Clay Holmes. I would say goes like 6 2/3, 2 earned runs, a nice quality start. Going to that changeup for strikeout pitches. I'm gonna say he has 9 Ks. So a pretty formidable outing there. Maybe gets into some trouble. You got to bring someone to pull him out. Maybe there's like 2 runners on, 2 outs. Mendoza makes the right call early on in the season. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to get out there. It's early in the season. Let's take it a little easy. Yeah. All right, dude. Use your bullpen in this rubber match here. And I guess maybe the Miami pitcher gets a little bit knocked up. I don't know if this is really going to go over, to be honest, dude. I say maybe the Mets score 5. I can see Alonso hitting a dinger. I can see Soto hitting a dinger. Maybe even back-to-back, too, because like that, again, I think that's something that people would love to see, obviously, and I think something that can really jack up the rest of the lineup.
Yeah.
I don't know about Lindor. I mean, history would tell you still a slow start. But hey, maybe no errors. That'd be great today. And then I guess let me see like Torrens with some offensive production.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he's been putting in the work behind the plate. He's had a couple good hits this year already. So I'd say maybe him with a nice RBI double or something like that. And not for nothing, I think Vientos has had 2 doubles already this year. So maybe another RBI double for him as well. Get some nice scoring going. And I say Mets, like I said, take this one. I'll say 5-2. So a nice clean game. Mets in the under, dude. What do you think?
I would go with about the same.
Yeah.
I think we really need to bounce back tonight. And I think, like you said, like I don't, outside of that hitting barrage in the 1 inning, it's really been under for these games. So I think we're kind of due for a little bit more hitting tonight. But yeah, something to spark us a little bit, hopefully with Alonso or Soto or whoever it may be at the top of the lineup. I think Alonso played a huge part in that with the grand slam, but just keep it going, get everyone going. But yeah, I would say about the same. I hope Clay Holmes can get out there and have a quality start too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we definitely need it out of him. But at this point, well, I guess before we actually go across town here, let's get some comments. We have a slew of comments in here, 20 of them. And I swear to God, if there's anything about Iron Eagle, Michael, we're going to skip it. All right, dude. So
go
let's
up here.
okay,
all right.
Yeah, what do we let's see, Mikey MJ, the one below that. I think we did that one already. That he's with the Mets, baby. And then why does Lindor always start the season so underwhelming? Honestly, that is something that is beyond me. I don't know why. It's becoming somewhat of a trend with him, and it doesn't make any sense. It's like Like, what is it you're not locked in about? Like, are you still in like off-season mode? Are you mentally just not there? Is it just that your body is still tight, still warming up to the game? I really have no idea what it is. John Pollock here. My heart got ripped out of my chest again last night, he says. I think what is he referring to? I would imagine is the Detroit Red Wings losing to the St. Louis Blues in overtime. Cam Fowler, too, I guess former Duck great. That is tough, dude. And we'll talk about that in the hockey segment. But Blues, I think, are a 10-game win streak right now, which is really tough, dude. I'm pretty sure I may have had Detroit winning yesterday. I kind of forget. But MJ also says, great observation, Tony. Thank you. I did watch the whole game, and it totally felt like our guys stared at pitches down the middle, fouled back, said pitches 99% of the time, just couldn't get anything going. And I think that speaks to a lot of the lack of production. I mean, obviously there is a pitch recognition and a timing issue. So that's 4 out of 5 games to start the season where our offensive built team has been underwhelming. He says, let's change that ASAP. Absolutely. Donna Lee Fender in the house says, good morning, all. Good morning, Donna. Happy to have you here. MJ says, good morning, Donna, as well. Brian Barnaby with a good morning as well. I will pretend I didn't see the Michael Buckta comments, dude. Oh, absolutely hilarious, dude. And then Phil Passmag in here as well. Morning, fellas. Go Yanks, he says. Glad you can tune in. Brian Barnaby says, let's go Yankees. Again, we can skip the Buckta Iron Eagle stuff. He does say, I love the Tony and Zach show now.
Oh,
Needs
nice.
to be way more, dude. Absolutely. Let's go to MJ here. It says, Clay Holmes was a steal, he says. Yankees definitely do not need him, but I truly think he's going to be a solid starter for us. It does seem like he could be. Absolutely. And then I was just going to say Mets win 6-1, which is also Mets and the under. So it seems to be a little bit of a trend there. And then Donna Lee, let's go Yankees, she says to Mikey. That is right, Donna, Yankee fan. We know. Yankees looking good. MJ says, can't wait for the Subway Series. The early one in May. Yes, Donna going on the 17th. Watch out. That would be a great game to go. I believe they do start from Yankee Stadium first.
Yes.
Hopefully the bats are good for the Mets. They really should just go all in. Like Clay Holmes should start the first game. Get Soto, obviously. Soto lead off. Doesn't even matter. You have him lead off. Give them the most at bats. Yeah, dude. Just change the lineup and really just. Brian Barnaby, the Soto brushback, never gonna happen. And Donna Lee says she's going with a Mets fan. That's something that Brian and I do. Actually, we'll be going to the Mets home opener on Friday, which I'm stoked for. Who the hell? I'm blanking on who's pitching that game. Is it McGill?
Yeah, it should be.
Right?
Little turnover.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because we're done after today, right? Is that the end of the series?
Yes.
Okay.
It's only 3 games. So it's only a 3-game set. Yeah. Mikey said MJ's going to be at both stadiums. Can't wait. I will say I had a great time at Yankee Stadium for the home opener there. I mean, just going to home openers in general is pretty sick. Going to baseball games also in general is pretty sick. So you really can't, unless you're some asshole in the stands and the bleachers getting into fights, you really can't have a bad time. All right. But I guess now let's move over to the Yankees because the Yankees did also suffer a very tough, tight loss last night. Excuse me. As they fell to the Diamondbacks here, their first loss of the season, 7-5 here, in a late kind of comeback, I suppose, by Eugenio Suarez, okay, who hit the grand slam in the top of the 8th, dude. And, Suarez is off to a tremendous, I think this is his 5th home run, honestly, of the season. We were previewing the game yesterday. I said to watch out for Suarez. And he obviously made them pay. Yep. 5th of the year so far. And that's in 5 games. So obviously Suarez off to a hot start. And in terms of kind of how we got there here, you do get Corbin Burns on the mound here. First start as a D-back. The former Cy Young winner here, gets the nod here for the start. Obviously, First inning here with Will Warren. It was 3 up, 3 down for him. Pretty solid. Does get a strikeout. Strikes out Corbin Carroll with a nice sweeper pitch. The classic lone away. Gets Ketel Marte to ground out with 3 4-seamers. So, I mean, again, the pitch selection was pretty good. Starts Corbin Carroll out with 3 4-seamers. Kind of couldn't really locate him. Gets 2 balls immediately, then goes to the off-speed sweeper, changeup sweeper, and kind of battles back in that at-bat against Corbin Carroll, who's obviously a good hitter. And then Marte comes up and it just attacks the strike zone with 4-seamers. Love that. And then gets Smith to strike out with some changeups. So, I mean, and it seems like that first inning here, Will Warren looked really good, dude. I mean, his pitch selection, the mix-up of pitches was really good. Classic, fastball setup and throw the off speeds. I feel like for, a younger pitcher who's still getting his legs underneath him, something as simple as that, when it works, it works. Just keep it simple. Locate these pitches, and you're going to be getting strikeouts. Speaking of strikeouts, Corbin Burns starts off his bottom of the first with back-to-back strikeouts, Bellinger, Goldschmidt, and then gets Judge to pop out. So for a second, it seems like we might be getting some pitching duel here. That's what we have for the next inning. It was 3 up and 3 down for both pitchers immediately. Now we're going to fast forward top of the third here. Warren comes in, gets McCarthy to ground out, which is great. Thomas to fly out, but then does walk Perdomo in a 4-pitch at bat. Again, I think Perdomo just, a couple pitches on the outside. At that point, he just wasn't swinging at anything, I don't think. Because the first 2 pitches were 4-seamers, outside the zone. Warren goes down early, 2-0 in the count, and Perdomo just waited him out. He walks, and then we get a 2-run blast off of a changeup. Corbin Carroll makes it 2-0. In the third. A little bit of a mistake, I guess. I mean, the changeup was kind of middle in, I guess. But, obviously, Carroll able to get the bat around to hit it. And he hit it out to right. But then, hey, man, we get a nice answer by Dominguez, the man himself, dude. Lead off at bat here in the bottom of the third. Cutter a little bit away, dude. Again, Dominguez able to dig down for it, get the barrel to it, makes it a 2-1 game at that point. And we'll fast forward to bottom of the fourth, where the Mets actually take the Yankees actually take the lead, dude. Volpe with a solo shot. That tied the game up 2-2. Wells gets walked. Dominguez singles to right. Wells is able to score. I think afterwards on a wild pitch by Burns. Dominguez moves up to second at that point. So, I mean, Wells scores. Actually, I guess it was on the throwing error by Josh Naylor, dude. That was Wells scoring. And Dominguez scored, actually, on the error as well. So that made it 4-2. And then that was the end of the inning after Goldschmidt lines out. So you're thinking 4-2 late in the game. Warren goes back out for the 5th leadoff walk. Okay. Thomas grounds out, Perdomo lines out, strikes out Corbin Carroll to get himself out of a jam, I guess you could say. I mean, leadoff walks are never good. Speaking of which, we're going to fast forward now to, at this point, the top of the 8th. You had Tim Hill starting off the inning and a leadoff double by Grichuk, which is obviously pretty tough there. For Tim Hill. I mean, he was pretty perfect up until, he threw a sinker that probably just didn't sink enough. Seems like it was over the middle of the plate. Perdomo, RBI single, first pitch, sinker. Perdomo goes down, grabs it. Grichuk goes from second to home, just like that. Boone wasting no time here after Kyle grounds out for the first out of the inning. Brings in Mark Leiter. Leadoff walk, back-to-back walks. Obviously now bases are juiced, okay? There's 1 out. Leiter does go to work against Josh Naylor, 4-pitch at-bat here, strikes him out, swinging on a splitter. That was a good splitter. Had some nice little backdoor action movement. But then, of course, Suarez comes up here. 5th pitch of that at-bat was a splitter that had a similar movement against Josh Naylor, but I guess Suarez was able to get the bat on it. Ropes it to left center, 376 feet, just over the wall here. Grand slam. That's 7-4, just like that. And then the Yankees, pluck Leiter, bring in a familiar face, and Adam Ottavino, who they signed, I think, 2 days ago or yesterday. Obviously was a free agent, wasn't on anyone's team because no one likes him.
Yeah. Great attitude, by the way.
Yeah, tremendous
Always
attitude,
smiling.
dude. Oh my God, dude. He doesn't get a strikeout to end the inning though. And he comes back in out of Vino, I guess, the top of the ninth here. Leadoff walk. McCarthy steals second on him. Gurriel pops up and they pull him. Whatever. Bottom of the ninth. I mean, obviously tough because, you got AJ Puck coming in here and he strikes out Wells and Grisham immediately. Back-to-back Ks. So it's bottom of the ninth. You're down by 3. There's 2 outs. It would have been nice if one of those guys got on base. Because then you get Rice, who homers, who obviously has been doing well, clearly, and definitely has some good at bats here. And I mean, this at bat, 5 pitches, all 4-seam fastballs. Took him 5 pitches to get the bat on it. Ropes it for his second of the year, right? I think. But then Reyes winds out, and that was the end of the game, 7-5. So obviously, toughly fought game. You hate to lose the lead late in the game, 8th inning, like you did. Tough, dude. It really is tough. It's obviously not what you want to do, especially from Will Warren's perspective. I guess again, you look at his line: 5 innings, 1 hit, 2 earned runs, 4 Ks. It's great. Tim Hill and Mark Leiter, I mean, getting kind of jacked up a little bit. Not good. I mean, the leadoff walks, you can't be doing that. The control. I mean, the bullpen, again, the Mets do have a good bullpen. The Yankees do have a good bullpen.
Yeah.
And, you definitely expect more from Hill and Leiter, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to be using Ottavino that much. Okay, I don't think.
I don't think so. No.
So, I mean, obviously, super tough loss here. First one of the season, though. You're still 3-1. You still had 5 hits as a team. You still scored 5. You still showed off some power. But the top of the lineup had a tough time getting through Burns, dude.
Yeah.
And we're not even talking just like strikeout stuff. We're talking just ground outs, fly outs, Goldschmidt, Bellinger, Judge, Jazz, all over last night. Obviously, Volpe, the big hit. Dominguez, a couple of great hits. Ben Rice, the bottom half of your lineup was doing way better. So, I mean, it is unfortunate that that top half went silent because, again, you would imagine with the amount of hits that the Yankees had, they could have gotten out to an earlier lead or at least have more of a late push, you know? I guess it is kind of unfortunate. Again, you think, Dominguez and Grisham, one of those guys doesn't strike out. Rice is the homer. Maybe Reyes strikes out, gets on base, but then you're back to the top of the lineup. And then, Puck has to go through the gauntlet. Yeah. And maybe you have a shot, but you unfortunately just couldn't get it done, couldn't get there, which is tough. But just like the Mets too, you're on to the next game here.
Yeah.
And before we do preview the next game, we do have some comments. I want to see if it's Brian talking about the Yankees or whatnot. Here we go. There we go. Tough one last night. 1 strike away from getting out of that inning. I know, so tough. Not to see Volpe and Rice and the Martian going deep, though. Absolutely. Especially Volpe and Dominguez against Burns. And Warren looked electric. Yeah, dude. And he definitely, had the attitude. He was jacked up. He was dialed in. So, I mean, listen, I have, you have higher hopes for him. But like you said, tough loss, but you're on to the next one, which the next one, I believe, again, I think the Yankees are resetting the rotation. I believe you get Rodon tonight, right? Yeah, it's Rodon versus Zach Gallen, dude. And good thing for the Yankees here, Zach Gallen got popped against the Cubs, their opening series. 10-6 loss, 4 innings, 4 earned runs, only 4 walks, 4 Ks. So he loves 4s, I guess. Only 1 home run, but I mean, with the Yankees lineup, who's to say he's not going to give up 4 home runs, So obviously a little bit of a better pitching matchup here. You have Rodon, who we saw him pitch, had a good start against Milwaukee, kept it clean. 5 1/3, 1 earned run, I believe, off a solo shot, right? I'm just checking the line here. 7 Ks, was dialed in. You imagine, second time around the rotation now, maybe a little bit more leash, give him a higher pitch count. And he's still pitching at home. So, I mean, you would imagine the Yankee Stadium jacked up, dude. And it really isn't going to be often that your top half of the lineup is going to be bad, right? So, I honestly, you look at the line here, Yankees minus 145, over under 7.5. Obviously, Zach Gallen is a good pitcher. He's definitely better than what his line was against the Cubs. And I would imagine that he does have a good year, but it's not going to be tonight. I think the Yankees do get to him early. Maybe he lasts 5 1/3, 4 earned runs. I think it's going to be tough. I think you're going to get a couple home runs from the Yankees, and I think you're going to get them with a couple men on base this time. We've been seeing a lot of solo shots from the Yankees lineup. I would say, Judge comes back, Dinger. I could see Jazz getting one too. I think he has one this season from the 21 game, I think, right?
I think he has
two
or three now.
Really?
Yeah, because he hit two. He hit two in that one game.
He did have two in that one game. You're right. Let's see, dude. Jazz Chisholm, not Jazz Chords. Jazz Chisholm. Home runs 3. Bang. So that'll be his 4th of the year. Why not, dude? Let's fucking go. Jazz has been hitting well too, I guess. Then, huh?
Yeah.
Must be nice.
Yeah, must be nice.
But I would say, Yankees win tonight. What did I say what the over-under was? Forget. The over-under is, this is a Prime video game. Game.
Yeah, I forgot they do that.
Yeah, which is kind of funny. But everyone has Amazon Prime, which is nice. Over-under is 8.5. No, it's not. 7.5. I think Yankees could score 6.
Yeah.
Diamondbacks scored 2 or 3. So I would say Yankees in the over. Yankees in the over here. What do you got?
I would agree with you there. Yeah. I think especially given the fact the top of the lineup wasn't hitting well last night.
Mm-hmm.
I think everyone bounces back tonight. Diamondbacks are good though, man. I mean, a lot of people are heavy on the Dodgers, rightfully so, but that division is going to be tough again this year for sure. I think the Diamondbacks and the Padres are going to be right up there as well. They're going to compete for sure.
Yeah, the Padres obviously too, and the Diamondbacks do have that opportunity. 2 years ago they're in the World Series, and now they have Corbin Burns, who obviously isn't midseason form yet. Brendan Pfaadt, obviously Zach Gallen as well. All pitchers that did well last season.
Yeah.
And they were like super young, right?
Yeah,
3 years ago,
yeah, very young. So I mean, also the Giants doing well to start too. So you never know.
Yeah, exactly. You never know. Hey, it wasn't that many years ago too. I guess maybe it was 4 or 5 years ago, right? When Buster Posey had like comeback player of the year, Giants, 100 wins, lost to the Dodgers first round, right? Wild card. No, it wasn't wild card. It was first round, I guess, right?
I think it was the first round. Yeah.
We played the Padres in the wild card.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I was there, sadly.
That's tough, dude. It was a tough time right there, dude. But in any case, that's your predictions, your recaps of New York baseball. I guess maybe we can go a little bit more so around the league. We haven't really done that. Rangers took care of business against the Reds, 1-0. Nathan Eovaldi, complete game. So that's obviously super impressive. Only giving up 4 hits for the entire game. Boy, has he been tremendous for the Rangers?
Yeah.
And not for nothing, I feel like after he left the Red Sox, people were kind of writing him off. But since then, he's been working wonders there, I feel.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay took care of business against the Pirates, 7-0. 9 hits for the Pirates, no runs scored, which is pretty wild.
Yeah.
Blue Jays took care of business against the Nationals, 5-3. Blue Jays off to a good start, 4-2. Brewers get their first win of the season, 5-0 over the Royals. Yelich with his first homer, I believe, of the season. Minnesota Twins beat the White Sox 8-3. Nothing crazy there. Angels beat the Cards 9-7 in 11 innings. Angels are 4-1 starting the year.
Good for them.
I know, right? Kind of watch out there. You spoke about the Giants starting off pretty good, too. They're also 4-1. Ramos is a big homer yesterday. They beat the Astros 3-1. I would say it's a great win by the Giants, so watch out for them. You spoke about the Padres as well. They are 6-0. Michael King, 11 Ks against the Guardians yesterday. Gave only 2 hits. So that's pretty wild there. Good job, Michael King. Another guy, too, who was written off by the organization, the Yankees, and has been absolutely stellar with the Padres ever since. Tigers, John Pollock, they won 4-1 over the Mariners. Riley Green, someone who was a big name in their big late season push last season with a nice Oppo homer. The Cubs beat the A's 7-4. Kyle Tucker, 4 straight games with a home run. So watch out for him, dude. And then we were talking about the Braves earlier on. They're 0-6 to start the year as they drop their 6th game to the Dodgers, 3-1. Mookie Betts, he has 3 home runs this season, which is pretty wild because he was sick going into the season. And it was like a deathly, like can't eat anything, lost 15 pounds, small, and now he's killing it.
Yeah.
I haven't been seeing him, though, because he's been playing short, right?
I believe so, yeah.
I haven't really seen any Dodgers games, but I'm sure he's killing it at shortstop as well. Dodgers, I think, first team since like the 1953 Yankees.
1933 Yankees.
1933 Yankees
yes.
to start the year off 7-0.
Yeah.
And it's just pretty wild. I mean, again, like I've been the whole, it's early in the season, whatever. But I mean, watch out. People were saying that the Dodgers are going to be not that good this year. And I don't even think Freeman played yesterday because he slipped in the shower. I don't know if you heard that.
I did not hear about that, but I noticed he wasn't playing.
He's on my fantasy team. And I was like, why is he day already? And I guess he re-aggravated his ankle from last season. It just said with a shower incident. And I'm not here to be making any implications about what the Dodgers do in the showers. But it's kind of funny to hear about that. But still get the win without Freeman. But you'd imagine, him, he's going to battle through it.
Yeah.
We're going to go to the grid now. But first, let's get to some comments.
Oh, yes. I got to pull up the grid for you. Actually.
Yes, dude. And let's see what we got going on here. Phil Passmeg right there says, who else is going to be sussy for Russie this year for the G-Men? I mean, that is sus, dude. There's a lot of sus going on there. But again, I mean, to have Russ I think it's pretty huge, dude.
Yeah. I mean,
like huge step up.
Yeah, especially for them, because I don't think they're going to draft anybody now.
I don't think so either, dude. And they got 3 quarterbacks that they could use.
Yeah.
If you want to include Tommy Cutlets there.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, Winston and Russ, I mean, you imagine Russ again, just to be able to, scramble a little bit, get open, swing the ball downfield, have a target, make your receivers happy for getting the ball to them.
Yeah.
Just overall experience, vision on the field. I mean, it's leaps and bounds, I think, from Jones here. If I'm the Giants, honestly, I'd be drafting offensive linemen, maybe like a couple receivers if you can get them. But offensive linemen first to protect Russ. I mean, I think the O-line has been such a big disappointment. And maybe like a late round running back. Who's a running back right now?
I couldn't tell you.
Right? Maybe a late round running back, young, someone who can toss in there who can, help facilitate some play action plays for Russ, free him up a little bit too, or even just someone who was maybe a good blocker too as a running back. Maybe we should scout that. But then again, what do I know? Michael Buck says Padres, or should I say Madres? Our fluke. Michael Buck's April Fools was yesterday, right? With the jokes, dude. And then let's see, Josh B was written off? ? What? The Yankees got Soto for him. Yeah, but it was a package deal, and like Michael King by no means was like the highlight of that package. Who else did you give up? What prospect did you give up for? It was a couple of guys. But again, I mean, clearly Michael King being written off by the Yankees, which is why they traded him, which is what I said. Okay, Josh B has a crazy statement, and he says, we got Soto for him. Michael King, legend. Sportsport was on it first. That is a fact. Way back when he was a starter for the Yankees and getting absolutely popped. But then bullpen, good job, yes. But then again, like written off as a starter, goes to the Padres, killing it. Brian Barnaby, Padres will beat the Dodgers in the playoffs. And for the division, he says, wow, I think Brian Barnaby did have that predicted in our divisional previews, which is pretty wild. And then, sorry, Michael. No, yeah, I mean, it's tough for sure, dude. It's gonna be a tough division, a tough race. It's really it's hard to say who will really win, to be honest. I think I said Dodgers though, but it could be it's toss-up. It's an absolute toss-up. Dustin May pitched yesterday for the Dodgers.
Yes,
He looked dialed in. I mean, that's a guy who, if he stays healthy, will be dominant.
Yeah.
And I forget though, but like I thought when he was healthy, he was coming out of the bullpen, wasn't he?
I think he was a starter.
You think he was a starter?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were showing clips of him last night as a
Yeah.
starter in 2020.
Okay,
So
maybe I'm just
yeah.
thinking of like situational stuff where they brought him in from the
Yeah.
pen. But in any case, now it's time to do the immaculate grid here.
Let me get that for you.
I don't know if you did you do it yesterday?
What?
The immaculate grid? Did you are you doing it on your own? Like,
Oh no, I was watching you. I was watching you do it on the.
Yeah. So funny with the April Fools. It was just people who were in MLB. It was a joke. So, they're at stage right there. Dang, dog. So we do have, and you make it the second from the right.
Gotcha.
From the right.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, man, classic. And if you make it full screen for me, I guess, because I can't read what it says. 2,000 Ks for the Orioles. Damn, that's pretty tough.
There we go.
I mean, wasn't like 2,000 Ks Orioles. I mean, for all right, so for Minnesota, Houston, let's go Dallas Keuchel. Let's see what that looks like. That may be high, but 2%. All right, let's take it, dude. And then I'm trying to think. Orioles 2000. Who's that guy? Is it Jim Palmer, who's like their one pitcher who's really good from back in the day?
I believe so. Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's got to be it. Let's check the comments. Let's see if anyone said anything actually before we put Jim Palmer in. Mike Messino. O's K's. Oh, Mike Messina, it says, sorry. He's questioning it. Let's leave it blank for now. How about Giants, Astros. How about for O's, Astros? Let's go Miguel Tejada. %. We're gonna take it, dude. Third base for the Orioles. I mean, Jesus, dude. I mean, Jordan Westberg is their guy now with Urias, right? So just do Jordan Westberg. I think he has one game this year. 3%. We'll take it, dude. Trying to think. Did Johan have 2,000 Ks career? Because he pitched for Minnesota quite a few years before the Mets. Oh, God. Oh, you know what? For San Francisco, here's one. And you don't have to tell me why I know this, but for 2,000 Ks, San Francisco, the name, Gaylord Perry.
Gaylord?
Old school pitcher, back in the day, dude. 9%. 9. That's pretty high. I guess Gaylord, Perry, the name, the high school, the laughs, you could imagine.
Yes.
I don't know. Josh Donaldson from Minnesota third base. Let's see if there's any comments right now before we put that in there. Nothing. So let's go. Damn. Let's do Josh Donaldson, Minnesota third base. That's probably going to be a lot. Maybe people forget about him. 10%. We'll take it. All right. I'm worried about Josh B questioning Mike Messina. So let's throw Jim Palmer in there for the O's. Let's move this thing along here.
For 2,000?
Yeah, 2,000 Ks. Jim Palmer. Minnesota pitching is going to be tough, dude.
50%.
Oh, fuck. Damn. All right, so we got 3 left. Third base for the Giants. Who the fuck is their third baseman right now, dude? Do I just jump to Johan? Johan, dude. Oh no, not for you got someone for Giants third base?
No.
Oh, no,
I clicked
okay.
the wrong one. What would you want?
For something like tells me Johan didn't have 2,000 Ks. Like I feel like he's like just below it, but that sounds kind of off. He's been so many seasons in the MLB. Let's just check the comments. We got any help from anybody? Where's Brian now? Josh B says Matt Chapman. For what? Third baseman for the Giants? It must be, right?
Yeah, I believe.
Michael wants to speak. He's microphone number 3, by the way, if you
I
want to
gotcha.
keep it open, yeah.
Up here.
I guess, yeah, let's just do let me just double
Tony
check.
doesn't even know who Matt Chapman is.
Oh, dude, stop it, honestly.
I mean, it's embarrassing.
You know who else he played for besides San Francisco?
Yeah.
Who?
Mets.
No, he didn't.
I know. I was just throwing it out there.
Oh man, dude. So I just want to pull up the comments here.
Oh yeah.
Just so I can see.
Oh yeah.
Giants third baseman Matt Chapman.
Yeah.
The show looks great, by the way.
Awesome.
Great job today,
Yeah,
guys. I mean, let's do Matt Chapman. I mean, it's all we got right now, right? And then, who the hell played for Houston? 11%. That's fine. Jim Palmer, really. Who the hell else had 2,000 Ks for Orioles? Mike Messina, possibly. Who pitched for the Twins? Who was really good, dude? It's got to be someone I'd never even heard of. Who's like in the freaking 70s.
Yeah.
I think Houston, San Francisco. Oh man, who the hell pitched for Houston? Bullpen guys. Who pitched for San Francisco? Come on, guys. I need to do Jeff Kent, Houston, San Francisco. There we go, Josh B. Let's fucking go. Got some nice help out from the crowd. Phone a friend. Jeff Kent, 7%. There we go, dude. Look at that guy with the stash. Jeff Kent is a good call. But I will need help. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't know anyone from the Twins or 2,000 K. Again, the only thing I got is Johan Santana. Jeff Kent here, 57 years old, played for the Giants from Bellflower, California, dude. I remember these fucking names, dude, for future. Career batting average, 290, dude. There we go. Slugging 500, OPS of 855. Looks like he played, had a short stint in the mid-90s, actually, with the Mets here. There we go. Pretty solid numbers with the Mets. Played from 92 to 95, I guess it looks like. And then Houston, San Francisco, most notably. And then Houston for a couple years, and then ended his year with the Dodgers. So there we go. Kent. Jeff Kent. Remember that name. Mets.
Remember the name.
Remember the name, dude. Jesus, dude. Do we just go Santana? This is the classic, like Brian Barnaby. I got nothing else, but I think it's wrong, and then it's gonna be wrong. Where's Brian Barnaby now? Probably fucking face deep in alcohol in a buffet. This is gonna screw us. I know it is.
I've got nothing like besides Santana.
I know,
just
dude.
don't-
It's
I
tough.
can't think of anybody.
Fuck, dude. Yeah, we got nothing to. I guess just try Santana. Take a shot in the dark. This is all we got. We had no help from anyone else. It's gonna be wrong. Yeah, it was wrong. Let me look it up. Let's see how many strikeouts he had. It's gonna be something ridiculous. Go. Can you actually see like who, like when it says like review the grid?
Yes.
Santana. Oh yeah, it goes to the bottom, like the most popular picks. Who's the most popular pick for Minnesota?
Oh.
Yeah, sometimes I don't know. Baseball Reference is annoying when it takes you to this page because it doesn't really show you everyone. It shows you everyone who had 2,000 Ks.
Oh, most popular. Gotcha.
Um,
My bad.
Bart by 11. God damn you. And we were doing pretty well too.
Yeah.
Let's see, strikeouts here. Oh my goodness. You ready for this, dude? 12-year career with New York, obviously, and Minnesota. 1,988 strikeouts. 12 away from the 2K and a good grid. But in any case, dude, that's our one grid for the day. We lost. Okay. We blew it.
Blew it.
But it's fine, dude. I mean, when Brian's here, he's all the help in the fucking world. Thank you, Josh, though. And then let's go now. Let's just toss it now to the world of the National Hockey League.
Speed, here he comes. McDavid shoots, top shelf, he scores! Captain with the overtime winner! That's the middle, quick, hit Cameron. It's a world-class hit right here. Tomsky stepping, rink wide, made the full split save. Are you kidding me? Turn, side of the net, between the legs, and they score! Filthy! David Pasternak, the silver trophy to the Golden Knights.
All right, dudes. The hump day slate. Let's go. Rangers are back in action. We got 4 or 5 games tonight, dude. Starting at 7 o'clock with the Rangers. Obviously, huge game here. Last night, as I was saying before, dude, both the Blue Jackets and the Canadiens won last night, which is really tough because we needed them to take some L's here. Montreal in the standings does actually have one more game played than us, it seems. 74 games played. I didn't realize. I thought no. I'm mistaken. I was looking at the wrong team. I thought they had the same games, and they do have the same amount of games played. 74, and they're 2 points ahead of us. God forbid we beat the fucking Ducks, by the way, the other night, which really was just giving us one more point and probably still behind them. But nonetheless, dude, God forbid the fucking Florida Panthers beat the Canadiens last night. God forbid God helped out the Rangers one time this season, but they don't. Okay, dude. Canadiens have a 2-game win streak. Columbus won last night, too, so they're ahead of us as well with the game in hand, mind you. So there's some makeup here. I mean, the Rangers have to absolutely destroy the Wild tonight, dude. And good thing for us is that we just beat the Wild with the Jonathan Quick start, I believe, too. And I think the Wild are still dealing with some injuries. Kaprizov is probably still out. I don't know if Eriksson Ek is still out as well. But they are dealing with some injuries. They have been playing, I guess, tremendous hockey as of late. I mean, look where they're at. They're in the second wild card spot now behind St. Louis after St. Louis just beat Detroit, which is really tough for them. The Minnesota Wild working on back-to-back losses right now. They're 4-4-2 in their last 10. And like I said, other than Zuccarello, or who's that guy? Brodin? No. Who's a young guy? It doesn't really matter. They haven't been having a ton of production, I guess, offensively. I think they had some higher scoring games here if we look at their last 5 here. If my shit would load. But in any case, the storyline here for the Rangers, Gabe Perreault coming up, making his debut tonight, dude. Just finished up the tournament for Boston here. So it's Matt Boldy I'm thinking about, by the way, for Minnesota. He's healthy. He's ready to go. Eriksson Ek out. Kaprizov, we know, out. And that's pretty much notable outs right there. Wild have lost 4 of the last 5 games. Back-to-back loss to New Jersey. I said it 2 days ago. They're going to lose to New Jersey, then lose to the Rangers. 3-game losing streak is going to happen, dude. I'm telling you right now, it has to happen. Gabe Perreault, like I said, coming up here, should be getting some notable minutes, I guess, or at least notable line combination in terms of first or second. Coming hot off of a gold medal victory at the World Juniors here. I mentioned yesterday, 48 points in 37 games this year with Boston. Tremendously young, talented right winger that we took late in the first round a couple of years ago. So you have high hopes for him. He's on the thumbnail. Let's go, dude. Fingers crossed. He makes some type of impact here tonight. Like I said, I know the Rangers need it. Splitting the games over there with the Sharks and the Ducks were not good, dude. You don't want that. But they need to play better defense. I've been saying this recently. Lean on Igor. Lean on him. He's been a bright spot of your team so far. So I think that you're going to have to, like I said, rely on him because your defense has been lacking. But let's just freaking do it now. All right, why not? We got the 5 games set. All right, strike up the music here, Zachary. We're going to go right now, do a nice edition, a nice little Wednesday hump day frozen frenzy, baby. Let's go. Get your beers out. We got some late games. All right, baby. We got 6.
Let's go.
We'll start off.
Where?
MSG,
Oh.
baby. Someone we know will be in the house. It may even be JP. I don't know, dude. We will be singing the Rangers goal song plenty of times tonight. Offensive explosion.
He's gonna have
here.
some blood flow.
Absolutely. I always do. All right, the Rangers coming here at minus 165. I mentioned the injuries to Minnesota, even though they had a great season. 41, 28, and 6. A good road record as well, 22, 11, and 4. They have been struggling dealing with these injuries in the past month or two. Over-under is 5.5. Like I said, should have the Igor start here.
We need it.
We do need it.
All hands on deck.
I say all hands on deck. Igor. Okay, dude.
Shutout.
I don't want to go
Give it to
shutout,
him.
dude. I'm not going to give it to them. Minnesota Wild do have some good goal scorers. Matt Zuccarello seems to be someone, the former Ranger.
Ranger, baby.
Does score against the Rangers, seems notably. Matt Boldy also leading the team, 63 points, 25 goals on the year, will undoubtedly make an impact for Minnesota. But I'm telling you right now, Igor, 35 of 37 tonight. Obviously getting the work in, earning his beers, as we like to say. But like I said, it's going to be the offense here.
Who's scoring?
Is
the kid?
It's going to be tough, dude.
Is the
I'm going to
rookie
say
gonna
it's
get
got to
his-
be Gabe Perreault. It's going to be the rookie.
Let's go.
I'm hopping on this train right now. This is the guy. This is the time. This is the difference maker right here. Totally new vibe for the Rangers. I know it is unlikely, but give me Gabe Perreault. Obviously here.
Trying to figure out what to say.
NHL debut. I say late in the second period, he ties up the game 2-2, and then we have 3 unanswered goals in the third. Give me a Brodzinski goal, and then give me a Vincent Trocheck goal. Okay, we're out of Mika March, and then probably some empty netter late in the third. Rangers go on to win this game 5-3. So it's gonna be Rangers and the over here. Next game. Let's go Hurricanes. Carolina taking on the Washington Capitals. Alexander Ovechkin, 5 goals
Let's
away,
go.
dude. The Lenovo Center here. Carolina favored at minus 215. Their home record outstanding, 29-8-1. Capitals, second best team in the league right now. Their away record, 23-9-3. This is going to be a battle. This could be an Eastern Conference Finals matchup if the Rangers don't make it. But the Caps here working on dropping 3 of the last 5 games here. Hurricanes back-to-back wins against Montreal, against the Islanders. And I say that they do take one here at home against the Caps. Maybe OV scores. I don't care, though. It's chalk right now. Hurricanes 3, Capitals 1. Give me Carolina and the under there. Let's go next up. Another Eastern Conference matchup. Florida, the Panthers in Toronto, taking on the Maple Leafs here. Maple Leafs, obviously having a stellar season. Almost losing my spot, 45-25-4, a better record than the Panthers here, which is why at home they're minus 125. Over under is 5.5. Toronto playing good hockey as of late. They play their best hockey leading into the playoffs, not in the playoffs. Give me Toronto tonight, dude. I say let's keep it chalk. I say it goes over, to be honest. Obviously, Panthers can score as well. Mitch Marner, the game winner, third period for his 92nd point of the season. The Leafs going to win this game. I'll say 5-4. Toronto and the over. Moving now late night, 9:30, going to Chicago here as the Avs take on the dumpster fire that is the Blackhawks here. You bet your bottom dollar Avs are favored at minus 390 here, over under 6.5. Honestly, kind of funny here that Chicago leads this regular season series 2-1 right now. This is the 4th and final, and I think Avs need to win here to tie it up. They're working on back-to-back losses. Blackhawks working on 3 losses in a row. Avs working out some of the kinks, specifically against Chicago, has had their number this year. I say Avs take this one. They're going to take it to OT, and it's Nathan McKinnon for his 111th point of the season. The OT winner, I'll say 4-3 Chicago. So it's another Colorado win and another over here. Last game, okay, dude, 10:30 p.m., we're going to Vancouver. The Canucks taking on the Kraken. We do have some Western Conference or playoffs implications here. Vancouver still in the hunt. They are going to need a miracle, though. That's for sure. Kraken eliminated. But you know what, dude? Kaapo Kakko having a career year. Best 41 points so far in the season.
Of course.
I think he has 2 more on the night. I believe Philip Hedl, I think, is injured right now. He is out, unfortunately, for the Canucks. So no reunion. Maybe a handshake on the bench. Who knows? Kraken take this one. I'll say 2-1 in regulation. Kaapo Kakko, both those goals. Kraken and the under. And that rounds out your NHL frenzy on this hump day, my brethren, dude. So a great night for hockey as the playoff picture here is looming over our heads. And I think you love to see that, dude. So great job there for the frenzy on me. Awesome, dude. Sweet NHL variety. We do have a couple more things I want to talk about, but let's get to a comment before we do head out here. Matthew Ryan says Mets lose. Matthew Ryan, my fucking state. All right? You still owe me.
Yeah,
so stop talking shit. All right? Michael Buckta, what the fuck you talking about, Michael Buckta? Let's go. NHL sucks right now. Doc retiring them, having to switch it from NBC again with the announcers. Step off, Michael. Next comment, he says, no one likes NHL anymore. Sorry, it's the fucking truth, whether you like it or not. Don't even try to argue with me. Michael Buckta, you're
crazy.
so wrong.
Yes.
Okay, how about this? All right, you, Michael Buckta, and Matthew Ryan.
No one gives a shit about UConn.
Take a permanent vacation to whatever beach you want in California and don't come back, dude, until you watch some hockey. UConn sucks, by the way. All right, Hurley, idiot.
Yeah, what happened?
Crybaby, moron. Okay.
Yeah.
You lose your fucking guys, you can develop more guys.
Yeah.
Suck ass.
Yeah.
And then Matthew Ryan, we can ignore that second to last comment, dude. Or that last comment, whatever. Who cares? PGA here. Valero Texas Open, the 84th edition of the Valero Texas Open. And how many golf courses has hosted this Open? Tell me, Michael.
I believe it's 84.
No,
I mean it's that
it's
one.
The opposite of 84. It is
it's
one.
that one.
It's been held at the same golf course for 84
They're
years.
moving to Fairfield, though.
No, they're not, dude.
Fairchild Wheeler.
TPC, San Antonio, TPC Fairchild, dude. So
For the 85th year.
the 85th year. This is one of the oldest professional golf tournaments here on tour. And I don't even think it's one of, I think it is the oldest, to be honest. An interesting slate here, obviously, week before the Masters. So not the who's who, as Brian would say. But we do have a solid field here. In terms of the world golf rankings, we have one player who's
DFO Michael.
Who's in actually, I guess we have 2 players in the top 10. Okay. Ludwig Gobert, who's ranked 5th, Hideki Matsuyama, who's ranked 6th here.
Okay.
This is a course that is fun. Weather will be in the high 70s, slight wind in San Antonio.
That's nice.
Beautiful weekend for golf.
Jeez.
Last year, I believe Ashke Bahatia. Okay, was your Ashke Bahadia, 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 Ashke Bahadia?
That's good.
Was
dude.
your winner, dude, at 20
Can't
under.
remember Brian Cranston, but you could do that.
Brian Cranston, I can remember, dude.
No, you didn't.
Okay, just I haven't seen it or said it in a while. I say Ashke Bahadia every week.
He'd probably really like you because I bet you a lot of people botch his name.
We botched it before.
Oh, I bet.
I think we said Bahatia.
Especially Brian.
It's hard name, dude. I mean, like, what do you want from us? In any case, he won last year, I should say, at the, so I think 20 under. I think you had some other guys notable. I think JJ Spawn has won one in the last few years. Who?
The Young Bucks are playing in this one.
It says who?
No, I am.
I mean, you have Keegan Bradley, who's
and
what's Patrick Cantlay, Hideki Matsuyama. I don't think he's that old.
He's like 20-something.
He's got to be 20-something. Ludwig Gobert, I think he's like 26.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Young Bucks
Tommy
are playing.
Fleetwood. Yeah, sure, dude. But then you also have like Maverick McNeely, dude. Ashley Bahati, I think, is my age. Tom Kim is young. Tony C now, we know, is a little bit aged. Justin Rose is aged. 40 plus. Keegan Bradley, our boy.
Is that from Vermont?
Yeah, Woodstock, Vermont. I think he's 40.
In his 40s? No, he's
Oh,
not.
no, he's 38.
That's right.
He looks like he's in his fucking 50s, when I tell you, dude. Those tough winters growing up in Woodstock, you know, really do a number on you. I mean, how do you fucking find time to golf over there, dude? I don't even know. But I got to pick a winner here. And I'm going to go Ludwig Aubert, to be honest. I don't think he's favorited here. Let's see what the odds are like. But Aubert, obviously, top world ranked golfer here. In terms of the odds, I guess he is maybe favored at plus 1,200. The odds here are working kind of weird, but Ludwig Aubert, who won the Genesis, I believe, this year, a couple top 10 finishes as well. I think just got cut at the Players. I think looking to take a step up here at TPC San Antonio. And honestly, also to prepare for the Masters. He knows the Masters is coming up. He's elected to golf this tournament to get some good golf in. So give me Aubert winning this one, dude. Phil Passman just added me on Snapchat. Like, what a fucking idiot. He commented earlier in the show. Your boy Phil? So give me Oshke winning this one. I'll say every year it's been going down the score, or better scores, 20 under, 15 under, 11 under. I'll say 22 under here at TPC San Antonio. Ludwig Aubert, I think, is honestly like this close away from winning his first major, and it could be this Masters tournament. So I kind of like the fact that he did get cut at the Players. I like that. Due for the bounce back. There's not the who's who here. I think plenty of opportunity for him to hone in on his game, win this tournament, get the confidence going into the Masters. Like I said, Aubert, 22 under, book that baby. And I guess for a sleeper here, there's a lot of different sleepers. I guess we're talking about old men here. Michael's a sucker for an old man here. So let me go with the 46-year-old out of Baylor, Oklahoma City, who has this season no wins, no top 10 finishes. But I'll go with Jimmy Walker, dude. Okay, this season, not great. Back-to-back cuts, Puerto Rico Open, Texas Children's Houston Open. There's only two tournaments, the PGA tournaments anyway, that he's had. And I mean, if you look at his career, he has, 6 career wins. No majors. I guess he's won the PGA, actually. He won... Here we go. Like, I have the instinct, the intuitiveness. He won the Valero Texas Open back in 2015, buddy. So he's won this tournament before. Sleeper, book it, dude. The odds were like plus 10,000. Okay, Jimmy Walker, he's winning this. I'll say 18 under. A little bit of obviously other people going tough job here. But give me Jimmy Walker for your sleeper. Okay, dude. And do we have some comments here on the way out?
I can't wait.
Yes, we do.
What do we got? Oh, shit. Is it bullshit?
It is
Definitely bucked it.
some arguing back and forth.
All right, hold on. Brian Barnaby, we'll start off with that. A league doesn't go in the tank, he says, because an announcer retires. Come on, Michael. Come on, bud. Even though Rangers fans will be feeling if Sam Rosen retires. Brian Barnaby says it's like Tony and I saying the NHL sucks because the Rangers have been disappointing. Absolutely true. Matthew Ryan at Brian Barnaby, NBA sucks. Brian Barnaby, NBA sucks ass. Michael's tight. And then we have Matthew Ryan says, at Brian Barnaby, Rangers are a laughing stock. So's your face, Matthew. Brian Barnaby, Tommy Fleetwood, first career PGA win at Valero. Book it, Dano. And then he says, Gabe Perreault is coming to watch out. Is coming, though. Watch out, Devils. Matthew Ryan, eat a steak by yourself. And this is at Brian Barnaby, Rangers are a bunch of pussies, he says. Wow. And he says, I think Matsuyama will win. Finally, something of a prediction or constructive of Matthew Ryan. Thank you, Matthew Ryan, on the way out. And then just real quick, NFL rule changes. The OT change is probably the biggest thing I've seen. I know they changed some penalties and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the fact that no matter what happens, both teams will be getting the ball to have a chance on offense to score, which I kind of honestly hate.
You don't like it.
I don't like it, dude, to be honest. Because, I mean, I like... You know, the field goal one makes a little bit more sense, I think. But even that, to me, is like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Kind of iffy, but it makes more sense to me. But I don't think there's no reason to implement rules to extend football games. If you get the ball first, you have the advantage. That's the whole point of getting the ball first. You have the advantage. And then if you put your defense on the field, they can't fucking perform, then you're shot.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's even worse because it's like, now you're changing the rule. So like all those games that went to overtime, the way they've been played,
yeah,
it's like bullshit now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just think like you probably, if you were going to make that change, should have made it a long time ago, especially with the talent we have in the league now.
Yeah, very true. And I think it's just NFL just trying to we can extend games now. Like they'll keep scoring. You know, it's just a high scoring league.
Yeah,
like
they just want more games, more time,
exactly.
more money.
More money.
They're gonna throw another week on the season.
Exactly, dude. So it is. But you have all these other leagues like MLB, NHL, speeding up their extra innings or overtimes here, and they're trying to slow it down.
Yeah, it's the
all right.
opposite.
So I love the do or die, the one and done. It's fucking fuck or walk.
Yeah.
Now it's not. Now it's keep on walking until somebody just stops somebody, I guess. But whatever, dude. I don't really agree with that rule change. It is what it is. I mean, I haven't really agreed with a lot of the NFL rule changes. Kickoff to like that shit.
Yeah, the kickoff is like
tough.
I just don't think it did anything really. I mean,
it just made kickoff a little bit more obsolete.
Yeah.
So I mean, what are we working towards here?
That's classic NFL though. It's like they say they have one reason for changing something, but it's always for another. So,
it's bullshit, dude.
Yeah.
But I'd say great show. Do you have any closing comments? Maybe something we didn't cover that you want to talk about?
No, just Mets bounce back. Let's do it. That's all I gotta say.
Mets. Let's go Rangers. Big games tonight on both fronts. Big day for New York sports, to be honest, dude. If you're a baseball and hockey fan, because like let's fucking go, dude. We need some wins here.
Yeah.
So Brian Barnaby, Salt Lake City, coming back tomorrow night. I think we'll still miss the show tomorrow, and then of course comes back just in time for the Mets home opener too. So like
he's excited for it.
We know he is excited for it. He's excited for the food, the chocolate chip cookie bucket. We're getting that. I don't care, dude.
The what?
You can get for $20. For is it $20? I think it's for $15. You get 20 chocolate chip cookies in a bucket.
Oh, that's nice.
It's great. It's 10 and 10. 10 for me, 10 for Brian. And apparently they're hot and soft and gooey. So I mean that's gonna be
just like you like your women.
Hot and soft and gooey, just like my women, dude. And then what else was I gonna say? I guess we'll see you tomorrow, right? I guess so. I mean, that's cool.
What else is there?
That's it, dude. We got a big day ahead of ourselves. We gotta get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, we do.
We gotta break down.
Full
breakdown. We got clients coming in. Headshots, Zach. If you want to squeeze yourself in for a new LinkedIn photo, let us know, dude.
Yeah, tell that to Renee.
But in any case, I hope everyone out there enjoys the games. Obviously, let's go Mets. Let's go Rangers. Let's go Yankees. I know Michael wasn't going to say because he forgets about his own teams.
No, I wait till the last word.
Okay, fine. And we will all see you. Well, Zachary won't see you, but we will see you. Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.